organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV.
Pre-med students are used to cramming for exams, but how do they prepare for a 6-hour one? We have more coming up.
And some businesses downtown might be seeing an end to liquor sales. See why next.
One was victorious and one fell short. Both the Iowa men's and women's hoops were in action yesterday, and we've got all you need to see from the games coming up.
We have all this and more tonight on Daily Iowan TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Megan Horhan.
And I'm Selena Carr. 6 local businesses are in trouble with the law after failing alcohol compliance checks last Friday. 3 convenience stores, North Dodge Express, North Dodge Sinclair, and Hawkeye Convenience, and 3 downtown bars, Bo James, Shorts Burger and Shine, and the Airliner all sold alcohol to an underage person working with police. Police checked a total of 33 businesses and downtown bars that passed include The Summit, Deadwood Tavern, and Mickey's Irish Pub. Selling alcohol to a minor is a misdemeanor and carries a $500 fine on the first offense. It remains to be seen what penalties the Iowa Alcoholic Beverages Division will levy against liquor licenses of those 6 offending businesses.
Governor Terry Branstad confirmed today that he will approve a 10-cent per gallon increase in the state's gas tax. The proposed tax will generate $215 million per year. The money would go to fixing roads and bridges in critical condition. The tax would apply to both gasoline and diesel fuels and would take the effect by the first day of the month after the bill's approval. Right now, the tax in effect is 19 cents per gallon for ethanol blended gasoline, 21 cents for regular gasoline, and 22 cents for diesel fuel. And more on Iowa cars and roads. This year, the Department of Public Safety pitched that using all electronic communication should be prohibited unless hands-free. The reasoning behind this proposed law is due to the distractions using a phone while driving causes. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention states that phones cause drivers to take their eyes off the road, hands off the wheel, and take their focus off of driving. If this law is passed, Iowa will join 13 other states that completely ban handheld devices.
Well, you guys, a lot of students walking fast to class today, and I don't blame them.
I was one of those students because it was pretty chilly out there today.
So what do we got for the future, Beth?
Well, guys, it's not looking a whole lot better. Tomorrow, we unfortunately don't see temperatures rising too much from our chilly day today. In the morning, we see temps staying in the single digits to low teens, leaving us with a cold morning walk to class. Into the afternoon, temperatures stay right around the 10 to 12 degree range, with not a lot of sun in the sky to warm things up. And on into tomorrow evening, temperatures drop right into those single digits again, with the high topping at 11 degrees. The real feel throughout the day is in the negative temperatures, so be sure to bundle up. And for the rest of the week, temperatures unfortunately won't be getting much higher. Wednesday, the high is a whopping 4 degrees, with the real feel getting down to negative 25 degrees. I'd recommend bundling up and staying inside when you can. We see temperatures finally reaching the 20s this coming Friday. And Saturday, we unfortunately see another set of snow showers coming our way, with a possible 5 to 8 inches. And that's all I have for you guys. Back to you at the desk.
Last fall, 152 new students entered the UI College of Medicine. It's already an overwhelming process to become admitted to this group, but Tanner Sigworth shows us how the next batch of applicants will face an even tougher challenge.
Any student striving to become a doctor will someday cross paths with the Mcat, the medical school admissions exam. The Mcat tests students on all knowledge of natural, behavioral, and social sciences before they can study medicine. Well, beginning in April, students will take a revised Mcat that has become longer and more difficult. Let's take a look at just a few of the changes.
The Mcat that I took was comprised of 3 different parts. It was verbal reasoning, physical sciences, and a biology section.
The revised Mcat will have 4 sections and will add 3 more semesters worth of material, including parts on biochemistry, introductory psychology, and sociology. The exam will also double in length. Students will have 6 hours and 15 minutes to complete 230 questions.
So several of my friends who were trying to get in next year rushed and took the test this January prior to the change because it looks pretty intimidating.
Admissions at the UI College of Medicine says the changes were based on a survey of medical schools where faculty and students gave input on what it takes to succeed in medical school.
When I took the original, it was like mentally and physically exhausting. You had to be driven to study every day because for a test like that, you have to put in, 8 to 10 hours in the library every day for weeks because this is the test for medical school. It's the test, so you have to do well on it.
The last time the exam was revised was clear back in 1991. Reporting from the University of Iowa, this is Tanner Sigworth, Daily Iowan TV.
If you're looking for a way to keep your head warm, give back to kids battling cancer, and get involved on campus, Iowa's new organization called Love Your Melon could be for you. Katie Sextro has more.
A new foundation called Love Your Melon is a nonprofit organization run by college students whose goal is to give a hat to every child battling cancer to help them through treatment and therapy. The organization lives by a buy one, give one motto, so for every hat sold, one is given to a child with cancer. After the Love Your Melon Foundation was founded in 2013, many colleges have been joining in to support the cause, including the University of Iowa. Iowa's Love Your Melon was just recently started by Tess Wilberding, who is now the captain of the group. So far, they've just been trying to get the word out about Love Your Melon, but exciting things are in store.
Our events will happen after we sell 100 hats. We go to the hospitals and the Ronald McDonald House and give them to the kids. Then after that happens, we get to have events. Like we can set up booths at places and then invite people to come, but that has to happen after we give the first batch of 100 hats to the kids.
If you're interested in learning more about the Love Your Melon Foundation or you'd like to order a hat or other apparel, you can visit www.loveyourmelon.com. And remember to choose the University of Iowa campus to support in the drop-down menu if you order something. If you would like to join Iowa's team, go to Love Your Melon's website, click on Ambassadors, Campus Crew, and choose the University of Iowa. Reporting from Iowa City, Katie Sextro, Daily Iowan TV.
The Iowa City Public Library is now the second location in Iowa to offer a program called Playing is Learning. This program emphasizes how playing can help a child's development. A large portion of the program is focused on a deck of cards called the Game of Games. Each card gives a try this at home activity that also builds children's playing skills. Throughout the children's section at the library, there are plaques on the walls with activities and facts to get children and parents involved.
We're going to go and have some lunch.
It's really designed for parents interacting with their children in guided play and specific things that might develop their imaginations or help them be creative or increase their vocabulary and that kind of thing. But kids really do learn from playing, and the things that we've highlighted here in the library is just so important for them to develop creativity and conceptual thinking, and their vocabulary stem from the ways they play. An important foundation for all the skills they need to learn and prosper in school.
The Game of Games card are also available to purchase at the library to further your child's learning from home. And after knocking down both Michigan and Maryland last week with over 15-point victories, the Iowa men's basketball team has hit a bit of a rough patch over the week.
Yeah, it was a little bit disappointing, Selena.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about the game, Zach.
Yes, Megan, very disappointing for a lot of Hawkeye fans out there, and unfortunately, after falling short to Minnesota inside Carver Hawkeye Arena Thursday night, the Hawks traveled over to Evanston, Illinois to drop yet another upset to the basement dwellers of the Big Ten standings on Sunday. It was Taylor Mathis who was courtside for the overtime loss to Northwestern and has more on how the Hawks let this one slip away against a team who was in a 10-game losing streak before taking to the court. Taylor?
What seems to be developing as a theme in Hawkeye basketball is the offense struggling to get started early. But on Sunday, both the defense and offense fell short here at Welsh Ryan Arena as Iowa dropped a disappointing overtime loss to the Northwestern Wildcats. Northwestern came into the game hot from behind the arc, making 5 of their first 6 attempts to build a 21-11 lead. The Hawkeyes battled back on a 13-1 run to tie it at 24, but Northwestern's Trey Demps drained a 3, giving them the 27-24 lead going into the locker room. Late in the second half, Iowa down 52-48 with 19 seconds left, but Jared Uthoff hits the perfect three, cutting the deficit to just one. Then Bryant McIntosh produces 2 free throws, stretching Northwestern's lead back to 3. But Uthoff again, who had a career-high 25 points, puts away the off-balance 3 over Vic Law, taking the game to overtime.
Jared is just a really talented offensive player and obviously an overall player. He played really well tonight. The shot he made was, a tough shot.
Although the Hawkeyes struck first in overtime, the Wildcats grabbed the game 66-61.
We didn't finish at the rim. We didn't establish, our ability to score at the rim pretty much the whole game.
Now Iowa must bounce back after this 2-game losing streak. This is Taylor Mathis for Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Accurate shooting will be essential for the Hawks when they take on Rutgers back here at home on Thursday, as Uthoff was the only Hawkeye to score in double figures. While the men's team fell short, it was women hoops who was victorious at home once again, staying undefeated inside Carver this season and extending their win streak to 4. Whitney Blakemore was courtside and has the highlights on the win over Indiana Sunday night.
It was a solid performance for Iowa as 4 Hawkeyes finished the game in double figures and received major help from the bench, giving Iowa what Coach Lisa Bluter says one of their most complete performances of the season. Besides getting a little 3-point happy at the beginning of the game, the Hawkeyes played rather mistake-free basketball, only giving up 10 turnovers and 26 assists.
I thought it was just a really nice, well-played game for us. It was kind of like nothing real flashy, but a good old-fashioned win.
Senior guard Samantha Logic played her usual part, getting a double-double with 11 points and 11 assists. But it was the relief from the bench that kept these Hawks clear sailing to another victory to a season-high fan attendance. Freshman Chase Coley was just a point away from double figures, making 4 of 5 field goals and 3 rebounds, 2 of which were from offensive glass in her 13 minutes of play.
I think we've just been playing as a team, and that's something that we hang our hats on, is on any given night, anyone can score, and I think tonight we demonstrated that out there. We were driving, we were hitting people for the open shots, looking to, drop it into Chase and Bethany.
Iowa received 27 points from its bench, the most since their 3rd game of the season. Final score, Iowa 81, Indiana 64. The Hawks just have one night to rest and prepare before they head up to Minnesota on Tuesday night. Reporting inside Carver Hawkeye Arena, Whitney Blakemore, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Thanks for that, Whitney. What was happening on the basketball court may have taken the limelight this weekend, but many other Hawkeye athletics were in action. Ready to fill us in on everything we missed is our Whip Around crew. Take it away, Hannah.
Thanks, guys, and welcome to this Monday's Whip Around. I'm Hannah Thompson. This past weekend, the Iowa women's tennis team headed out west for their road trip duels against Montana and Oregon. The ladies took down Montana, but then got handed their first loss of the season, falling to Oregon 4-3. This loss to the Ducks is the first loss in the Iowa-Oregon series, which Iowa leads 4-1. The ladies tennis team will compete again this weekend against Oklahoma here at home. Now let's toss things over to Mark for an update on Iowa baseball.
The Iowa Hawkeye baseball team opened up its season last week in the Snowbird Classic. The Hawkeyes lost their opener 5-4 to Kansas State. However, the team bounced back and won 2 straight, one against St. Louis and the other against George Mason. Iowa coach Rick Heller and his team are now 2-1 on the season. The Hawkeyes will return to action this Friday against Arkansas Little Rock in an away game. We'll now toss it over to Alyssa Klosterman, who has an update on Iowa softball.
Thanks, Mark. The Iowa softball team drops to 3-5 in the season after a tough loss against the #1 ranked team, Florida Gators, down in Gainesville, Florida. Iowa's pitcher, Shayla Starkenberg, recently recorded her first career no-hitter against Southern Utah. She is now one of 7 players in Iowa history to do so. Up next, the Hawks travel to Lafayette, Louisiana for the Raging Cajun Invitational on February 20th. That's all we got for the Whip. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Alyssa. That will do it for me here in the sports studio, but be sure to tune back in tomorrow as we have even more coverage from over the weekend on women's gymnastics and wrestling. Selena and Megan, back to you.
Well, this is the end of our broadcast here at Daily Iowan TV, but you can catch us again tomorrow at the same time, same place.
And you can also see the latest news anytime at dailyiowan.com.
Happy President's Day, guys, and thank you for joining us.
Have a great night.